Hey gang, and welcome back to another Top 10 EDH list. This week's list will break down the top 10 EDH enchantments.
So enchanting.
Last time we didn't go over honorable mentions, so we won't skip that this time. The first honorable mention goes to Mirari's Wake, because pumping creatures and doubling mana is always a good thing. The second honorable mention goes to Martyr's Cause, which is a great sacrifice outlet, and it also prevents hexproof creatures from dealing damage. But that's enough about the honorable mentions, let's get into the list. Number 10. Aura Shards. Aura Shards is a bit of a problem child. It's an enchantment, but it kinda wishes it was a creature like Reclamation Sage or Harmonic Sliver, and yet at the same time, it still outclasses both of those. A staple in any green and white deck. It'll hate out as many enchantments or artifacts as you have creatures. Number 9. Pernicious Deeds. In a similar vein to Aura Shards, Pernicious Deeds kinda wishes it was a board wipe. It's a strong, powerful effect for only 3 mana, and the fact that it can sit on the board and act as a rattlesnake is always great. Plus, you can cast it for 3 and then pop it for 0 to kill all those tokens that might be coming your way. Number 8. Propaganda type effects. Cards like Sphere of Safety, Propaganda, Ghostly Prison have always been a staple to any kind of pillow fort deck. I'm sure you've all come across at least one deck which has forced you to pay mana to attack that player. They're EDH staples and they're kinda fun to play with. Number 7. The card draws. I've said it before and I'll say it again, drawing cards is going to win you games. These enchantments like Mystic Remora, Rhystic Study, Necropotence, Phyrexian Arena, Sylvan Library, the list goes on, but the fact of the matter is, the longer you're able to keep one of these on the field, the more likely you are to draw that game-winning card. Number 6. Goblin Bombardment. Easily my favorite red enchantment, and arguably almost as strong as Sneak Attack, Goblin Bombardment is a staple in any red EDH deck that I have, giving us incredible flexibility in terms of being able to hit players, or creatures, or planeswalkers by redirecting from players. Goblin Bombardment also offers us an instant speed sack outlet. Couple this with its relatively cheap cost, and the fact that it has Goblin in its name puts this really high on my list, although not as high as some other cards. Number 5. The Theros Gods. Now, I'm not just talking about the gods from Theros the set specifically, but more as the whole cycle itself. All of these are fun, all of them do great things, and I've always really enjoyed seeing them on the other sides of the table. I mean, heck, I have 2 myself. I run Erebos and Phenax, giving us some powerful effects such as card draw, scry, damage when creatures enter the battlefield, vigilance, death touch, trample effects, milling effects, and then I guess there's kind of Pharika who just does nothing, but whatever. These powerful generals are always fun to play, and I would really suggest you try out one for yourself. Number 4. Mind Over Matter. Although it comes with a steep casting cost, Mind Over Matter will have a huge impact on any game it's played. It is often a win condition in Azami decks, and I know it does a lot of heavy lifting in my Zedru deck. Mind Over Matter offers incredible versatility at the cost of only discarding a card, and in some cases discarding a card is actually beneficial to your game-winning plan. Being able to tap creatures, lands, or artifacts, and at the same time being able to untap our own is huge. Yes, 6 mana is a lot, but let's face it, this is EDH. That happens on what, turn 2? It's also on the reserve list, which makes it kinda extra neat. Number 3. Humility. Nothing shuts down an EDH deck like Humility does. I mean, considering the format is based around choosing one legendary creature to make a deck around, Humility might as well read nope. I think my favorite part of Humility is when you're playing against a person who's never had a chance to go up against it, and they cast Acidic Slime, thinking that, oh hey, I got an answer for this. But no, Humility is a static effect, which means that as soon as Acidic Slime hits the field, it's a 1/1. It doesn't have abilities, no enter the battlefield, no nothing. You might as well have just spent 5 mana for a dude sitting around in his tighty whities. That's how useless that Acidic Slime is. If you're looking for even more fun, you should cast Humility when you have Opalescence out. It'll cause a judge's head to explode. Number 2. Like my buddy Darwin says, Survival of the Fittest. Banned in Vintage, Legacy, and most obviously Modern, Standard, Limited, Draft, Sealed, Block, Extended, and pretty much any other format, Survival of the Fittest is basically Demonic Tutor for creatures. Oh yeah, except for the fact that it costs 1 green as an instant speed, and you get to pitch a creature to your graveyard to do it. Arguably strong in a graveyard deck, Survival of the Fittest finds a home in any green-based deck where there are creatures in it. Animar loves it, Carador loves it, Mimeoplasm loves it, heck, I'm sure Karametra loves it. Who doesn't love it? For only 1 green at an instant speed, we're able to get rid of that late game Llanowar elf and turn it into Avenger of Zendikar or some other game-winning piece. It's usually killed as soon as it comes out, and for good reason. Number 1. Omniscience. I'm only going to say it once because frankly you guys are really mean to me in the comments and you always make fun of my pronunciation, so poop to you. Omniscience is probably one of the stronger cards in EDH because it allows you to basically play any spell for free. In fact, it doesn't basically do that, it does do that. In theory, it requires you to have a pretty stacked hand in order to use it to its maximum potential, but let's face it, no one is ever going to cast this with no hand. That just doesn't make any sense. It costs a lot, but I can count on one hand the amount of times that I've hard cast it in my Zedru deck. If you've got a blue deck, this is probably in your consideration list. Anyway gang, that is my list of top 10 EDH enchantments. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? What's your list look like? Please leave a comment below and let me know. As always, feedback is always welcome, and please be sure to tune in every Monday for new videos. And like I always say, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more.